Everybody, these middle 4 pages of chapter 4 are some of the most involved of the whole book. So I want to touch sort of the take-home message. I understand these Schifrin and Schneider experiments especially are really involved, and they're a little much to keep up with. So if you'll indulge me, I've got maybe what may be the best paragraph, or certainly the most informative of the whole 4 pages that I think sums everything up pretty well. Schneider and Schifrin, again dating to the 70s, explained results by distinguishing between two kinds of processing. Automatic processing, they asserted, is used for easy tasks and with familiar items. It operates in parallel, meaning it can operate simultaneously with other processes and does not strain capacity. This kind of processing is done in the consistent mapping condition because the targets popped out from the background with little effort or concentration required. And you can see that here. Basically, I've got a single target present among those very discernible categories at the top left there. In fact, what it's asking them to do is look for a 3. The 3 jumps off the page, and that's a fairly automatic process. In contrast to that, as they say in this middle paragraph, searching for 4 targets was as easy as searching for 1, given the consistent mapping and also the contrasting nature of the characters there. So they dubbed the second sort of processing as controlled. Controlled processing is used for different tasks and those that involve unfamiliar processes. It usually operates serially with one set of information processed at a time, requires a lot of attention, and has limited capacity. There's only so many controlled processes we can undertake. Controlled processing occurred in the varied mapping condition where targets and distractors alternate across different trials. And more generally, controlled processing is what we use with non-routine or unfamiliar tasks. So it was quite involved, these experiments, but the varied mapping condition, as they say, goals changed over the tasks where you had to engage in a feature search. And given that it varied, it required more concentration and thus was less automatic. In contrast, on the top left there especially, you can see, although the image isn't very good, that the 3 jumps off the page. It's the most discernible character there and tends to stand in contrast, I should say. So a difference there being that with familiar items, processing on a search task is automatic. Controlled processing occurs with unfamiliar items or where the task varies across several experiments. And I got to tell you, if I had one criticism of this chapter, is that this 4-page section was extremely detailed. We got hit with the kitchen sink on every conceivable sort of experiment. But I think this take-home message, this might be one of those times where we could just sort of get to the gist of the matter and let that be enough absorption for this section.